So the question is that Eliezer Eved Avraham, the servant of Avraham, was sent on a mission by Avraham to go find a wife for his son Yitzchak. And Eliezer initially, the Midrash said to Avraham, why should I go look for a wife for your son? I have a perfectly perfect shidduch for him, my daughter. Eliezer had a daughter. Chachamim say, Avraham Avinu said to his dear servant Eliezer, Eliezer, your daughter is never going to marry my son. Why? You are cursed and I am blessed. It can never be. Now if I was Eliezer, I'd say, I quit! Right? I'm teaching, I got Kiruv 3 lectures a week for Avraham. You tell me I'm cursed still? But that's why I'm not Eliezer. Eliezer, by the way, is one of 10 people went to Gan Eden with his clothes on, never died. This is one of the reasons. Eliezer says emet. Avraham said it, emet. You're right. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that Avraham Avinu has a unique blessing. And Eliezer comes from the Canaanites. The Canaanites are cursed people. There's a mitzvah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the two can never marry. It's nothing personal, Eliezer. It's a mitzvah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that my people can never marry your people. Why? Because we got a blessing as a people, and your nation got a curse. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I love you. You're my main guy. Surely I trust you to go pick a wife for my son. But that doesn't mean we can marry each other. I can be friends with a non-Jew. In fact, I have hundreds and hundreds of non-Jewish supporters, students, friends that send me countless messages. Sometimes I feel bad because sometimes I feel like I help them more than I help Jews and at times. What, just because somebody's not Jewish you don't help them? No, chas v'shalom, they need help. You help them if they're decent people. But that doesn't mean you're allowed to marry them. That's what Avraham was telling him. Eliezer, I taught you everything I know. You're Talmid Chacham. You continue this way, you're going to go to Gan Eden. I love you. But we can never marry each other. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the one that created the rules, ruled himself. Avraham, blessed. Canaanites, cursed. Can never marry each other. Nothing personal. So that's the thing that a person needs to understand. It's not prejudice by the Jews against the non-Jews when we say you are not allowed to marry a non-Jewish woman. If you're a Jew, you're not allowed to marry a non-Jew. If you're a Jewish woman, you're not allowed to marry a non-Jewish man. If you're a Jewish man, you're not allowed to marry a non-Jewish woman. It's not prejudice. It's a rule by your Creator. He's the one who designed the system, and he said, Jewish people, you marry your own. Non-Jewish people, you marry your own. The good news is for the non-Jew, you have a much bigger selection. You got about 8 billion choices. The Jew has fewer choices. Which means that when a Jew marries a non-Jew, it creates a domino effect of damage. Because not only are they now ending their own Judaism, but now there's one less choice in the world for another Jewish family to start with. And today in the world, there's over 80% intermarriage in America. Today I got an article that said Europe has over 70% intermarriage. Europe, the continent, has over 70% intermarriage, Jews and non-Jews. Meaning, Rabotai Karim, if we don't make major changes, we are one generation away from destroying ourselves. What the Nazis did not destroy, we are destroying ourselves. And that's also part of the problem when there's a lack of information and lack of knowledge about the risk of going against the instructions of the manufacturer. Your average person will say, listen, what's the problem if I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? The Goyim have boyfriend and girlfriend. Why can't the Jews have boyfriend and girlfriend? First of all, you should know, the Midrash Rabbah says it, and Chachamim paskin it. According to the Chachamim, when one non-Jew is intimate with another non-Jew, they're considered married. They don't need to go to a formal reception or anything like that. They want to get a divorce, they have to stop being intimate. That's marriage and divorce for non-Jews. Jews, on the other hand, have to have chuppah and kiddushin. So what happens if a Jewish girl is intimate with a Jewish boy, but they're not married? But they're not married. What is the stat? Now, first and foremost, you should know that a woman that's not married is not allowed to go to the mikveh. And because she's not allowed to go to the mikveh, that means that she's nida. And if she's nida, that means that both of them are violating a isur karet, excision from Hashem, just like violating Shabbat, idol worship, eating on Yom Kippur or chametz on Pesach. Every single time she's together with this boy, with this man, while being nida, even if that person is our husband, but she didn't go to the mikveh. Needless to say, if she's not allowed to go to the mikveh because she's single, it's isur nida. Both of them get a karet. For every act. For every act, it's another karet. Now, there is a Rambam in Ilchot Na'ara Betula, chapter 2, Halacha number 17, says, there must not be a prostitute among the daughters of Israel. And there must be no male prostitutes among Bnei Israel. This is a verse in Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 18. And the Rambam says, what is this? Why is Hashem saying, Lo tiyeh kedeshah mibnot Yisrael v'lo yeh kadesh b'nei Yisrael, about prostitution? What do we learn from it? The Rambam writes, from there we learn that the Torah prohibits premarital sex. How much does it prohibit premarital sex? The Yerushalmi, Masechet Yevamot, chapter 6, Halacha number 5. Rabbi Eliezer says, even if the guy is a perfectly kosher Jew, keeps Shabbat, puts on tefillin, learns every day, good guy, he's intimate with a kosher Jewish female. She keeps Shabbat, she's modest, she eats kosher, because they want to have a good time, they want to have fun. But they're not married. Aside from the fact that it's isur nida, like we just discussed, from that moment on after the first act, one time that they were in, that poor girl, that poor woman is declared in Shamayim a zonah, prostitute. Now you tell your average girl, hey, by the way, you have a boyfriend? Okay, Hashem calls you a zonah in Shamayim. The girl's going to start crying hysterical. So don't go out telling people this. But you have to understand the magnitude of how HaKadosh Baruch Hu treats promiscuity. He discussed it. Why? He said, it's my daughter. What are you doing putting your paws on her without marrying her? What are you doing allowing him to touch you? So Rav Samuel says to me, he says that how come Rabbi Yochanan went into the details and the ramifications of being a zonah and promiscuity, but they stopped in the middle of the argument. Why did they stop in the middle of the argument in the Yerushalmi? He says because after the Mashiach comes, the halacha is going to change sides from Bet Hillel, where it is today, to Bet Shammai. Bet Shammai is more stringent. And this issue, the girl being considered a zonah, is according to Bet Shammai. If this was paskin to halacha, that every girl that is promiscuous, it's called a zonah, meaning you're allowed to call her this even, then what would happen? As soon as the Mashiach would come, all of the Kohanim, all of the people that are from Kohanim, that are married to a girl that had a relationship before them. She had a boyfriend for a week or a month or a year before she got married. They all have to get a divorce. Why? A Kohen is not allowed to marry a Zonah. Yeah, but she did Teshuvah. She's a Baalat Teshuvah. She had 4 kids with the guy. No. They were never allowed to be married. Why? She was Zonah. What do you mean Zonah? What are you talking about? Tzadikah Kedusha. Look at the Kisui Rosh. All the kids are Talmidei Chachamim. Yeah, but before that, she had a one-night stand, and what are you going to do? Before. That's how much of a big deal it is, Rabotai. That's how much of a big deal it is. So, a person needs to know that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu says something, he's not suggesting it, he's telling us you have to control yourself. Now, Rabbi Yochanan says, Ever katan yesh la'adam, masbi'o savea. Mar'ivo savea, masbi'o ra'ev. Rabbi Yochanan says, there's a small member in a man's body. One who starves it is satiated. One who feeds it is always starving. So for all of those young people that say, listen, but I got desires. What do you think? Rabbi Yochanan doesn't know about that? You think the sages don't know about it? You think you're the only one in the world that has desires? You think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a being without knowing what the being has? It's a trick. What's the trick? He says there's a member in your body. If you feed it, you're constantly going to waste seed, you're constantly promiscuous, you constantly have a new wife and a new girlfriend and a new this and new that. You're constantly feeding this member, guess what? You're never going to have enough. You're never going to, aside from getting yourself hell, you're still going to Gehinnom and punishment. Aside from that, you're never going to have enough, meaning you're not even going to be happy with that. Why? You're always going to need more. And want more, and more taboo, and more crazy, and so on and so forth. And Rabbi Nachman Breslov says a person that's promiscuous with himself, eventually he's promiscuous with people, eventually he's promiscuous with the same gender, and eventually can even go to animals. So Chachamim said, if you constantly feed this part of your body, it's never going to be enough. You're going to destroy your life, both in this world and the next. On the other hand, you starve it. What does it mean you starve it? Only feed when it's allowed. You're married, your wife is Teorah, she went to the mikveh. Kodesh Kodashim. Holy of holy, the act between a man and his wife. Otherwise, forbidden completely. You do that, your intimate life will improve. You'll actually be happier than all of those filthy people that feed it constantly. People think that filthy, disgusting human beings like you, Hefner, and the rest of the filthy people that live their whole life feeding themselves, their sexual desires non-stop, or like Shmuli Boteach Imach Shimo, that disgusting human being. Him and his daughter, he calls himself a rabbi, his own daughter, and he's promoting it. His own daughter has a sex store, based on the teachings of her father, the rabbi. And he's promoting it. He's like, yeah, this is the new store, and we're going to show you some of our products. We're not going to show you the ones that are really erotic, but we'll give you that. First of all, you're a rabbi and your daughter has a sex store? What's the matter with you? Second of all, how do you allow yourself to talk about this next to your daughter, you disgusting, filthy human being? Even the most vile non-Jewish people that never had an education don't talk about sex next to their kids. What happened to this disgusting human being? You know what happened? Feeding the desire. You feed that desire, it's never enough. Taboo becomes normal. What's taboo to the rest of us normal people is normal to him. And that's what happens. You destroy yourself without even realizing it. He doesn't even know he's doing wrong. His daughter doesn't even know she's a walking Chilul Hashem, and she is infected with a virus that may not be curable, bichlal. Why? Masbi'o saveh. Give food. Masbi'o ghayev. Give it food, you're always going to be hungry. Constantly feed it. Every desire you have to feed it. Problem.
B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh v'Natzliach, we're very excited to offer you the new Be'ezrat Hashem app 3.0. It's a newer, faster app, full of Torah, lots of Kedusha, by the shiurim that we do, myself, Rav Ephraim, Rav Chaim, where you'll have also newer features where you're able to use the app while you're using other applications on your phone. You'll be able to share the lectures directly from the app. You'll be able to donate online and support our Kiruv and our Torah work that we're doing. And the most exciting feature is that you'll be able to actually ask questions directly on the app and get answers from the rabbis directly from the app. This is something unprecedented, and Baruch Hashem will be able to offer it. Thank you again for all of your support. Check it out. Make sure you have the kosher Torah that will re-energize your neshama each and every single day. Call to B'chav Atzlacha.